I'm here with Shakezullah, good friend of Dust 2 US, Rushby Media, going all the way back, like big name in the scene. Tell me, now that you're part of EG, how are you feeling like being under such an org like this?
Well, it feels good. I think I've played a long time. It's been 5 years now or so, and I finally get to have an impact, I'd say, in like a tier one org. I used to think I was going to be playing, but you got to take your opportunities where they come, and I think I can have a big impact with the assistant coaching role.
Like you said, you thought you'd be playing. Do you think like down the line we could see you back on the server like as an IGL with the mind that you have?
I mean, you never know where you're going to be in a year, but to me, it's I've accepted a job to be an assistant coach, and so all I should focus on is doing this job and being the best I can at this job, and to think about playing and to think about anything involving that is just detriment to me and these guys, right? So I need to focus on being a good assistant coach. I need to focus on improving my craft.
EG obviously had a good result against Heroic, put up some pretty good performances, and as we speak, they're up against Sprout on map 2, and map 1 was pretty close. How much have you got a chance to like implement like being the assistant coach in the team?
It was a little tough because I got here like mid boot camp, right before Blast. Like I was flying in to Blast as the heroic BO3 was finishing, essentially like the first BO3, and so it's been tough just because we've had to figure out how to work me into the day-to-day routine. I have a laptop and it doesn't really connect to the Wi-Fi very well. It's like an old laptop I had, in 2015. So like sometimes I'm just lagging in and out of TeamSpeak, but we try to find where I can have impact in terms of just bringing pistols or anti-ecos, or I can anti-strat what we're doing and see what other teams are likely to do. I can always look at the other team and give my 2 cents on that, but I mostly just am watching scrims, taking notes, doing one-on-ones with players, and just kind of figuring out how to bring the best out of them.
Like you said, they're kind of like working you into the system. With so many coaches and like so much staff around it, what's it been like working with those guys such as like Vorborg, Malek, and so on?
So I don't know how much like people know outside in terms of the structure, but mostly it's just Daniel and I that do things with the main team. I think Hepa, I've never really done anything with him, but I'm pretty sure, is doing stuff with the Blueprint teams. And then Malik, I know, will do stuff with individual players. Like I've seen him watching demos with Automatic and just giving his 2 cents in terms of that. But it's mostly Daniel and I that are focused on being a part of the blue team.
Momo also joined EG as part of the EG Black team, I believe it is. What's that like seeing like players that you kind of brought through at Bad News Bears and even other players that have been really improving after being under your systems?
It's always nice to see. Momo is somebody that's got a lot of talent, and I think that if he can start to piece together kind of the more in-depth pieces of the game, then he's somebody that could be a great prospect down the line. His raw mechanics and his aim were never in question, and so it's nice to see him get an opportunity, and I hope that he makes the most of it.
Another player that kind of came through your systems, and we know that you've had a good relationship and played with them a few times as junior, with Wiz getting called up and them still kind of looking for an opera. Do you think EG could be like looking into junior? Like, do you think he has a space at this level at this time?
I mean, he did a stand-in tournament with them, so I'm not going to speculate on whether or not he's going to be with them or not. But he did a stand-in tournament, and I hope I wish the best for him. I really like Junior. I think he's a great opera with a lot of potential, and I hope he's got a successful career. And if that's with one of the Blueprint teams, then happy for him.
Me and you have kind of talked about like the benefits of NA teams coming over to EU and having that chance. Now that you're here with the team, what's the kind of plan now after the IM Katowice tournament?
After this, we are going to go home and just enjoy some time off. We've been here since early January, but we're going to end up coming back for EPL Group A, and that'll be February 18th or so, and then we'll look to boot camp afterwards for the RMR. But, the scrims over here and all the experience is just invaluable, especially for somebody like Wiz, who hasn't necessarily had many chances to come over here and play against these teams. I think that, again, the experience is invaluable because the things that you see day to day in practice, or just the fact that you can get an 8-hour day in, or a 10-hour day, is just so much different than what it's like in NA. Doing scrims in NA start at the time that you're done with your day in EU, essentially, in terms of team time. So it's just, you're on more of a healthy schedule over here, way more practice, way more review, and it's just, I don't know, it's nice to have everybody in person as well, right? When we're back in the States, then everybody's kind of doing their own thing in their own place, and so it's just more efficient to have everybody here and to have one goal.
I always ask players at the start of the year, or at the start of a new season, what their kind of goals are for the year. But you, in like a coaching position, what are your goals for 2023?
I think that the goal is to bring EG back to where it was in 2019 and to be, an established org and one that's competing for titles. Right now, we're kind of struggling, and I think anybody within the team would say that the results are not what we want them to be or what we expect from ourselves, and so just things like this, making it and qualifying for the main event. That's just a step forward that we have not had in a long time, and I think that the first 6 months is really about just kind of getting back into the main tournaments, into qualifying for things, into getting wins against the big teams, and then from there we can, the next 6 months of the year, the second half, we can start to look to make playoffs and really expand upon that. So my goal is just, again, to make us more solid and to bring back the UG that everybody knows and loves.
Thanks for your time, man.